In the past couple of Towards 2000 series, we've taken a look at new developments in the automobile industry. And this little number has quite a few that I think will interest you. It's the Nissan Motor Company's new research vehicle. As far as the body's concerned, it doesn't look terribly different from their current Sentra model. But its exterior, though, has a number of features which I think are quite unusual. For example, firstly, all of the windows are made of plastic. It's a new scratch-proof type, which is much lighter and could prove to be safer in many ways than glass. Just switch the ignition on and open the bonnet, but before we look under, see what's under here, a couple of things to mention. First of all, the lights, they switch on automatically when it gets dark and also switch off automatically when it gets light. And the windscreen wipers, I'd like to show you something there, a little bit of television magic. They switch themselves on automatically when it rains and go faster when it gets heavier. Okay, let's just have a quick look inside now. The engine is actually only a 1300cc engine, but as you can see, it runs on methanol, and it's also turbocharged, which means that it can deliver about 120 horsepower, which is about the same as an ordinary car with a 2000cc capacity. And this little device down here is very interesting too. It's actually a microwave and radar system, which is not used for detecting police radar traps. But more about that when we get inside, which is where most of the interesting features are. Well, if I'd waited a couple of minutes longer, I wouldn't have had to worry about that spray. Anyway, the main things we want to talk about in here are the instruments, and they're grouped in three main sections. First of all, there's the non-rotating steering wheel instruments here, the cathode ray tube, which is here and has three functions, and the main instrument panel here. And on the instrument panel, if you want to, you can preset your speed, say 50 kilometers an hour, and if that speed is exceeded, a warning light comes on and then a computer voice breaks in to tell you you're going too fast. There's also a unique display that makes use of that radar unit under the bonnet, a warning system that tells you when you get too close to the car in front of you. It flashes a light and then a voice warning from the computer, and the car will be automatically slowed down until it's a safe distance from the one in front. Right, well, the next section is the cathode ray tube display, and at the moment it's showing the clock, which is 15:25 or 3:25 in the afternoon. Now, if I want to change that display and put it on radio, for instance, here's the radio coming up now, and we have music or whatever coming up there. Turn the volume down just by pressing the buttons, and if I want to change the channels, I can just press any one of pre-selected channels here. Touch-sensitive screen. The most interesting thing about the whole cathode ray setup is the third system, which is the map. So I press the map here, and that's connected to the voice computer control. Now here we have a map of a section of Japan. Now if I press any section of the screen like that, I can then get an enlargement of it, and I press this cursor here, and it starts moving towards the place where I might want to start my trip. So let's say that I want to start it just over here. Let's go up to that point just there roughly. That should be all right. Now I start issuing some commands to it. Incidentally, the computer has to be pre-programmed to recognize my voice or the voice of anybody who wants to talk to it. And you do that presumably when you first buy the car by reading a list of some 26 simple commands into this little microphone here in the rear vision mirror. Yes. Left. Now you can see that the little indicator starts moving across the map to the left until it reaches the next intersection. Lower left. Now it starts going down to the left. Upper left. Now it's traveling up here along the coast. Well, having pre-programmed the route that I want to follow, I can then set off on my journey, and there's a directional sensing system in the car which will tell if I deviate the slightest from the pre-programmed route and set up a warning system. So theoretically, should never get lost. Well, the whole system needs about 30 computers to run it, and they're spread in different parts of the car, presumably some in the boot, although the Nissan people wouldn't let me have a look in there. They were also reluctant to say which of these features would be appearing in their production models or when, other than to say most of them soon.